are you living the life you've always wanted? Are you really able to have everything that you've ever wanted to have? Do you have a blessed life? Are you living a blessed life? Or is life bad? Are things hard? Is there a ton of drama all around you, constant chaos? Is it as if God is a million miles away and nobody on this planet believes in you? Are you all alone? Or are you the most vibrant person in your world? Are you a magnet for others to come to you and to bless you and to encourage you and to speak well of you? Or are you a person who is a bubbly, upbeat person? What kind of a person are you? And I want to let you know that each one of us gets to decide how we live on the earth, what we allow in our lives and what we don't allow in our lives. There's a verse in the Bible, and I want to read it to you. And this is going to be in Mark 7, verse 15. There is nothing that enters a man from the outside which can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are the things that defile him. And that means what comes out of your mouth, out of your words. Look, in James, there's a verse in James. It says, "But no man can tame the tongue, for it is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless our God and Father, and with it we curse men, who have been made in the similitude of God." That's the likeness of God. "Out of the same mouth proceeds blessings and cursings. My brother, these things not ought to be so. Does a spring send forth fresh water and bitter water from the same opening? Or like salt water and fresh water, do they come out of the same well? Can a fig tree, my brethren, bear olives? Or a grapevine bear figs? Thus, no spring yields both salt water and fresh." Brothers and sisters, I want to let you know, I have learned that my perspective and how I see things determines if I'm going to bless people or if I'm going to speak evil of them. And I'm not talking about just thinking evil thoughts but zipping the lip and not saying it. I'm saying the inner dialogue, the inside voice, I've learned how to redirect that and to put it into good, in the blessing. Would you like to know how? Well, it's been hard. It wasn't easy for me, and I want to let you know. It was a very difficult road to learn this process. And I want to share it with you because it's worth learning. Do you know your perspective, the way you see it, is going to determine how your life goes? What you say out of your mouth, you will eat the fruit of your own words. God will give you what you say. Out of your mouth will determine good life or bad life. And so here's what I had to do. Can I just take a couple of minutes and just share? My life was not going well. My wife and I, we would fight all the time. We had a hard relationship. It was difficult. And all I could see in this relationship is how it wasn't what I wanted, how things were going wrong and how things were bad. And there was drama and issues. And I would blame her and she would blame me. And it just spiraled out of control. And I found myself asking God, why did you give me this kind of a person in my life? Why is life got to be so hard? Why don't I ever get the things that I want? Why? And I had all these negative stuff going on inside of me. Can any of you relate? Have any of you ever done these kinds of things? I have. And I want to let you know that God said, why don't you speak faith over your life? And so, what a revelation. What a wild idea. So I'd like to be able to tell you that I just started speaking faith and it was so easy and pop. I just had a completely different life. No, it wasn't like that for me. Some of you can do that and bless God for you, but it wasn't like that for me. I had to Deliberately start planting a new crop that didn't exist. Faith is calling things that be not as though they were. So I had to call what did not exist in my life as though it did exist in my life, which we call lying, right? But what I was doing was I was lying against the reality that I was experiencing, knowing that it would change. Point. Knowing that it would change. Some of you, what's the use? They're always going to be like that. I can't change another person. That's right, you can't. But I want to let you know, you can determine how they interact with you by the way you label and see them. See, we don't realize that sometimes we label people as bad, as full of drama, as a liar, as a thief. They haven't got your back, whatever it is. We can label people, or, oh, she always flies off at the handle. Oh, it's that time of month. Whatever it is. And we have these little judgments that we have towards other people. And I want to let you know that we have to turn those judgments loose. And you can't just turn it loose and have it not there anymore. You can't have a cup and pour something new in without the what's in it already coming out. So your heart can't be empty. It's always going to have something in it. So we have to teach our hearts the way we want our hearts to think. We have to teach our hearts, our inner person, how we want it to be. So what we do is by faith, we train our hearts. That's something they don't teach you in school. How to train your heart to speak faith and to see good and to be in love with the world around you. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, we call it the love chapter. And you know, love thinks no evil. It doesn't. It hopes good things. It believes all. Hope never fails. Or love, rather, never fails. Love never fails. So, what we can do is learn how to groom our hearts. So in the next couple of minutes, I want to teach you how to do that. All right? So here's what you do. You get a seed. Words are seeds. And you find what you want. Now, you're not allowed to change another person's will. You're not allowed to make them into something they're not. You can't do that. But what you can do is change your perspective and your idea of what's real around you. Because what you call real is simply something you have put your attention on, and you have noticed it and labeled it and said it and acknowledged it and built a life around it as the truth, whether it's good or bad. So now what you do is you start speaking life and blessings over the world around you and the people in your life. And for me and my wife, we were having some friction, so I started saying this: I have a wildly wonderful, loving marriage. I have a wildly wonderful, loving marriage. I have a wildly wonderful, loving marriage. And wildly wonderful means great things. And I would say that until I'd laugh. I have a wildly wonderful, loving marriage. And guess what? I started believing my own words. And as I kept saying that and not paying attention to the other things that were going on, I'm not saying I stuck my head in the sand. I'm saying I let it come and go, come and go, come and go. And I never invested my time into saying, see, it's never going to change. See, more words I'm planting, more words. Instead, I would let go and release and say, this is temporary. This is temporary. I have a wildly wonderful, loving marriage. And as I continued to do that, sometimes beating the steering wheel on my car, just angry because it wasn't going my way. But listen, I am the root of my problems, not my wife or anyone else. I am the root of my problems, and I have to take responsibility for that by the way that I see the world around me, how I judge the world around me. Because Don't make a mistake. Matthew 7 says, judge not lest you be judged. With the measure that you judge, it will be met back to you. So in other words, however much you put into what you decide is true and real is how strong and real it's going to be that you live in that reality. So I want to let you know that I had to fix that about me. Taking full responsibility for the condition of my heart by what I said inside myself, my inner dialogue. So what I said was, I have a wildly wonderful, loving marriage because that's what I wanted. And pretty soon, I would look for little glimpses of why that's true. And she would say something and my heart would go, oh yeah, that's it. And she would do something and I'd go, oh yeah, that's it. Or I would notice that we were laughing and I'd go, oh yeah, that's it. And I would acknowledge all the little things that I could find. Like when you plant the grass, the seeds go in and then you're looking for that first little green that pops up, the littlest signs that the grass is growing. You go, oh, it's growing. Yep, it's growing. And pretty soon you got some grass or some tomatoes or whatever it is you want to plant. And you just look for that and encourage that and you water it and protect it. And I watered those words and I protected those words, which were seeds, because seeds grow. My dirt didn't always, my heart didn't always have a good attitude, but I kept it going and I kept it going. And even when I was in a bad mood, I'd stop and say the right thing. Even if I was getting ready to flip out, instead of that, I'd say, I love you to my wife. Put on the brakes. And in no time at all, in just a few weeks, this whole thing turned around. And I now live in the fruit of a wonderful marriage, of a wonderful life around me, that I can easily bless the people around me because I've learned how to train my heart to focus on the things that are going according to the Word of God, that are going in the right direction. And as I continue to do that, looking for the little signs that prove what I say is real, I get more of it. That's how it happens in the negative. Somebody treats you bad, you say they're a jerk, and next thing you know, next time you see them, you've already got they're a jerk in your heart, and they do something that proves they are a jerk again. Because I expect them to be that way. So when I'm expecting to have a good life, I'm expecting to have a wonderful time, I do. I have a great time. I have a good life. Things are awesome because I've trained my heart to look for the things of God, to look for eternal life, to look for what's valuable that I love. And now I have a beautiful garden around me because I've planted the words and they have bloomed, and now I'm eating the fruit of those words. So brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you, take an aspect of your life, find in the Bible where you're allowed to have it better, and speak words of life over your family. Bless your family. Bless your loved ones. Bless your siblings, your spouse, your family, your mother and father, your children. Bless your business. Bless the things that you possess. Bless, bless, bless. Speak life over them. Speak opportunity. And as you do that, even when it feels like you're lying and you hate it, and you keep it going, you will soon get the fruit of your new words. I encourage you, test me in this and see if it is true. God bless you. I love you. Remember, subscribe.